We had a well-rounded, caring faculty. It was a community. It was family. It gave us what we needed to go out into the real world. So we had teachers that were character builders, those that went to church with us, lived in a neighborhood with us. So it wasn't a lot you could really get away with, because they were caring and they were able to correct us without any rebuttal from my mother at all. As a matter of fact, I'd rather them correct me than my mom. But it meant a great deal. As a matter of fact, until this day, I realize that it is respected among other schools, especially in the Texas area. And it was for a number of reasons: academics, athletics, music, drama, history. We were just well-rounded. We were taught well, and it meant a great deal to me. Gave me something that I could carry on over to my children and to my granddaughter. It was one of the greatest high schools in the world, and that it had its own uniqueness in that when they rebuilt the school, and we went there as freshmen in 1953, we were the only African-American school, I'm pretty sure I'm right, in the state of Texas that had its own athletic field, complete athletics field. We didn't have to borrow. It was loaned, as a matter of fact, to University of Texas in Houston-Tillotson. I would say that, let them know that we had beautiful science labs and that it was also loaned to the college. We had I keep saying, well-rounded faculty, very brilliant faculty. We had Mr. Pickard in the science department, Mr. Brown, that taught us things that when I got in Houston-Tillotson, some of the other people had never heard of. Math teachers that had taught us well. We had grammar. We had homeroom teachers that cared enough about us to stop in the middle of whatever they were doing to correct us and give us information and advice that sometimes my parents were probably too tired to talk to us about. I would tell a total stranger that it was an experience that they could only hear about unless you attended Elsie Anderson or read about. I lived on Orlando Street, which is the very first street off of I-30, which is now I-35, and 12th Street. It was in East Avenue, which was a rock road. But across the alley from me was one of the instructors to Anderson, Miss Myrtle Johnson Middleton. Mr. Boston Grant lived up the street. He was a high school counselor. Miss Love or Miss Green lived around the corner. I mean, we were surrounded with our family of faculty. It was just a close-knit group. And so you couldn't think of anything else but a community. And at that time, it was just that. It was, yeah, if you went to American Woodman meeting, anything that you went to, Y-Teens or whatever, there was usually a faculty member involved. So we were cared for, and like I said, constantly corrected when necessary, or you could sit down and just talk. just talk. And they listened. They listened. We have a few faculty members left now. We've lost a few in the last few years. Miss Britton, that you could go to and talk about anything, good, bad, or indifferent. There was a Miss Verna Arnold, who was my homeroom teacher and drama coach, who was totally a character builder. I could go on and on, but they helped us. We didn't get out of line with the way you dressed or the way you carried yourself. If you did, I mean, it wasn't for but a moment, but it was totally extended family. That's as simple as you can put it. Our community was extremely unique in the way that it was just put that way. And we were given everything in the new building on Thompson Street, basically to keep us or discourage us from going across town to school. We didn't need to, because we had everything right there. We had people in the cafeteria that cared for us, you know. The custodians, you just couldn't lose. You couldn't lose. So I'm very grateful to have had that experience. And again, I would tell any total stranger, it's something that you would have had to experience and read about to really know what it was like to have been a part of that group. You know, it was like when the bus is loaded up for a trip, the team was ahead and you've got 4 or 5 buses of band, drill team, twirlers. On Friday nights, the stadium, that was a community outing. So, and the churches, our churches were a part. They gave banquets for our athletes. They, we were supported in all areas. We were loved.